Hey, how's it going? I'm Zach, this is ZakDTV, your spot for interesting news from around the net. Thanks for stopping in. Remember, if you like what I do, go ahead and click that little watermark down there. That'll let you subscribe to my channel and share me with your friends. Every little bit helps. Alright, that's enough of the sub-whoring. Let's get right into it. I am going to start off by talking about Chris Burdish. He is a badass that I came across today. He's a big wave surfer and a boating enthusiast, and he is the first person to stand-up paddle his way across the Atlantic Ocean. And he started over in Morocco and finished yesterday morning in Antigua. It took him 93 days, well, depending on the source, some say 94, to do this crossing. And now, at the same time, to call his ship a paddleboard is kind of a stretch. It is a $120,000 unit, complete with a cabin and all necessary tech, like it has a radio, GPS, sat phone, autopilot, safety beacons. It even has the ability to upright itself in case it was capsized. But no matter how you look at it, that doesn't take away from the fact that this man crossed the Atlantic Ocean in 93 days by paddling. How cool is that, huh? Next up, there's a link in the description for this video. You gotta check it out. It is the thing of nightmares. Or dreams, if you're that way. You guys know Thomas the Tank Engine, favorite of kids around the world. Well, this is an awesome Thomas upgrade. Peter Streipel of Upgraded, here on YouTube, he released a video of a 6-legged Thomas the Tank Engine Flamethrower. I know, right? How cool is this? The video is totally awesome, and I think once you see it, you'll understand why I included this in my news today. I just love the smile on Thomas's face as he's lighting things on fire. This is epic. For a story of another awesome human being, this man has just cemented his spot in my book as the coolest guy in the world. I'm talking about Elon Musk. Not only does he have dreams of reaching Mars with SpaceX, electric cars with Tesla, he co-chairs a program called OpenAI to develop artificial intelligence. Came up with PayPal. He's working on building a vertical takeoff and landing supersonic jet, and he started the Boring Project to dig tunnels so we could live like mole people. He even came up with the idea for Hyperloop, which could change the way we live. What'd I leave out? Solar City. This is his foray. This is his step into optimizing solar energy collection, storage, and redistribution. He plans on making this so it works on a large scale and a small scale for the average home consumer. And this is what made it final for me. Recently in Australia, they've been having problems statewide in the state of Southern Australia with blackouts. These are due to storms they had back in September, and they still don't have the infrastructure fixed. They don't have the ability to produce enough power, and the need for it is just killing consumers in price increases. And that's where Musk and Solar City step in. Lyndon Reeve, this is Musk's partner in Solar City, said that he can fix Australia's power problems in 100 days. And that was said in an interview with AFR. They're a news site in Australia. Running with that comment, Mike Cannon-Brookes, he's a billionaire from Australia, tweeted Musk to ask if he was serious. Musk replied, "Tesla will get the system installed and working 100 days from contract signature, or it's free. That serious enough for you? Drop the mic." Australian Senator Sarah Hanson-Young, she jumped in and simply said, "Let's talk. It looks like it's on." Musk has now quoted a price for the package, and Mike Cannon-Brookes said a very Australian, "You're on, mate. Give me 7 days to try to sort out the politics and funding." Indeed, it is on. Whether he makes a deadline or not, this is the most epic bet I've ever heard of. And that's why I've got to give him props as being the coolest guy ever. For my next story, I want to talk about a study that was recently published. It was published by Wesleyan University, and they offer studies of political advertising after each campaign. They just released this one that looks at the 2016 elections. That's all of them for Senate, Congress, President, everything. And I'll tell you what, it outlines why Hillary lost and why we have the political climate we do now. There's a lot of numbers in this, sorry if it bores you. Let's just get through it. This report states that Hillary ran 402,344 ads across the entire United States. Trump, however, ran nearly a quarter of the ads at 120,494. The Rebuilding America Now PAC, they ran an additional 12,214 ads in favor of Trump. And the Next Gen California Action Committee, they ran an additional 11,373 ads in favor of Hillary. So for totals here, we're looking at 133,122 ads run by Trump. And by Clinton, 413,717. That is a lot of ads. And with that kind of difference, it's hard to understand how Hillary didn't get her point across and do much better. And according to this study, the only areas that had more saturation for Trump as opposed to Hillary was Hawaii, Utah, parts of Ohio, Northern Virginia, and most importantly, Wisconsin. And even though it says that she has more saturation, when you look deeper into it, you see that her saturation happened right at the end, right before the election, when she did this major ad push right before voting. With Trump's numbers, they were more steady across the board, with a bump towards the end. The study even looked into the content of these ads. And even though 2016 had fewer attack ads aired than 2012 elections, there were still far more than back in 2000, when there's almost none ran. Pretty interesting to see. However, though, most of the attack ads were on Clinton's behalf. 60% of all of her advertising was attacking Trump's character, and only 30% of her ads talked about her policy. 10% of her ad were both attacking Trump's policy and talking about hers. So in total, less than half of her ads even told you what she wanted to do. At the same time, Trump's ads were 70% policy, and the other 30% were split up half and half between attacking Hillary personally and comparing his policy to hers. So even though she spent 3 times the amount of money compared to Trump, spent most of that money on ads trashing him personally. And I think this made her look unfavorable. And it didn't get her message out to her constituents or to undecided voters as to what she wanted to do. However, it does look like her policy of hating Trump did resonate with her voters. And that's why we have the political climate we do now. If you had somebody telling you repeatedly how deplorable this guy was, how despicable he was, how he's going to be horrible for the country and how he hates women, you would think too, like, how did this happen? How did he become our president? He's not my president. Oh, I got physically sick when he got voted in the office. I can now understand how that happens. And I think we're seeing such a change now. I think we're seeing this difference in political climate because of the way she ran her campaign. And unfortunately, it's just going to make for a tough 4 years. But enough of that crap. Let's move on to my final little tidbit here of something interesting. If you watched my video yesterday, you'll notice that I started off saying, wow, it's so windy outside. And it was. It was rattling my windows. It was nuts. An example of how windy it was, upstate New York, west of Rochester, in a little town called Batavia, there was a train that was derailed by the wind. It was blown right off the tracks. The train was fully loaded. There's 29 cars to it. 12 of those cars left the track when derailed. No one was hurt. It was carrying a load of gunpowder. No big deal there. Nothing happened. But that is just a perfect example of how windy it was yesterday, in case you think I was BSing you or something. On that note, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you like what I do, remember to subscribe. Share me with your friends. Every little bit helps. I'm a growing channel. I'd like to get bigger. I do my show Monday through Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday. I'm considering throwing in a Saturday show. I don't know if I'll do it tomorrow or not. But if I don't, have a safe weekend. I'll see you on Monday.